to Our Turn. I am Pastor LaQuetta Bush-Simmons, one of the great hosts that's a part of our show. This is where courageous conversations happen, right, ladies? We're gonna tackle those tough issues. We're not gonna be afraid to have those conversations that might make you a little uncomfortable, but we're gonna take you back to the cross ultimately to be able to look at what we're talking about and those topics that might make you just a little uneasy. But today, I think for me, it's an easy topic. I don't know. We'll see. So this is my great co-hosts, Trisette and Betty and Michelle. So we're going to be talking about women in business. And it's time for us to own our power.
I'm already in it.
Yes. Too often women are shamed out of wanting to be a business owner. Sometimes they're intimidated and they're too afraid to start their own business and
neglected, forgotten, and pushed.
Absolutely.
Yes, talk to me.
And you're a mom, so you're trying to balance motherhood, or you're doing something else, or you're really into the church, and so you're making these decisions of how you can become this woman that is working towards wealth and prosperity to help their community. So I want to share some numbers with you.
God
real quick.
in our prosperity.
Oh, he said he blesses us according to his riches and glory.
But as a woman, you have to jump a lot of hoops to get to where you need to go. It's easier, harder for a woman than it is for men. Yeah.
We are the women, the Proverbs 31st women of the 21st century.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, and we'll go over that.
And women of color,
Oh my God.
it's compounded. But I want to share some data with you real quick. So the Small Business Association says that women-led organization comprised of 10.1 million workers.
Wow.
So when women lead an organization, we are hiring people. But also, this is what excites me, that we are accumulating a wealth of $1.8 trillion.
I love it.
We are doing this, right?
So we need to know this, as women, we don't understand the power we possess, and this show is bringing this kind of information to the table. I love it.
Absolutely. I'm going to have a one-on-one interview with, you guys don't know this, but I've known her since middle school.
Oh. Okay.
So I've had a
We have
chance.
a lot of questions about this. We're going to go down the lane.
Okay, so you've been keeping this treasure
Yes.
for this long until today. You have to share these friends with
Yeah,
us.
right.
Entrepreneurs.
We're going to go down memory lane. We're going to find out.
It is not a surprise that she is a successful businesswoman. When I've seen her grow up, she's always had the it factor. And she was always able to be a leader, and people will follow her. And I'm just grateful that we are still connected all these years, and I'm excited for you guys to meet Desiree Benson. So she is, I'm gonna read some of her stats. She has been an entrepreneur for 16 and a half years, a success coach, a speaker, independent representative for Planet Marketing, an independent travel advisor with Intel. I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. And she loves the Lord. So yes, when we get back, you guys, you'll be a part of an intimate conversation I'm having with Mrs. Benson.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Our Turn. I am Pastor LaQuetta Bush-Simmons, and I'm here with our special guest, Desiree Benson. She is a businesswoman, and we wanted to have her talk about our topic today, and having women to own their power. So, Desiree, I'm so happy you are here with us today.
I'm honored.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I'm gonna just start with one tough question that I think could be tough. How can women business owners change the outcome for women, particularly when we often find ourselves apologizing for our dreams, that we find ourselves playing small so not to offend the men in our lives sometimes? How can we as business women change those outcomes?
Well, first of all, it all starts with God for me.
Yeah.
That's the main key. And I want to thank you because you have been an example in my life since we were kids, right? Spirit of excellence. ultimate woman, right? And a great example. And I just believe that it starts with self. It starts with self-development, self-improvement. I'm that person that's about self. I take accountability for my actions. I take accountability for my decisions, right?
Wow.
So we first have to be self-developed. And in being self-developed, that will bring self-confidence.
Yeah.
If you have self-confidence, then you're not really concerned about what everybody else says or thinks, especially if you're right with the Father.
Yeah, and I think we have that bad as women, that we want to please everybody and make someone else feel good. But you led with your faith. So you weren't always a businesswoman. You are very successful, very, very successful, you and your husband. And when I talk to you about it, you always go back to God. But why did you decide to become a businesswoman? What changed? What's your why?
Well, that's a great question. It was not my path at all. I come from a line of successful business women, cousins that were, salon owners and business owners and things. And I watched them growing up. Most of them were about maybe 6 to 9 years older than me. And I kind of watched them and I admired them. They were women of faith. So that was something that I desired as something that attracted me to you always was your faith. And never saw myself as a businesswoman. But life happened. And I had gone to school, gotten my degree so I could get that good job, right? And worked in corporate America for a decade. And then our youngest daughter was born normal and had some adverse reactions to some routine medical treatment. And fast forward now, she's 24 years old, can't do anything for herself. And so I had to give up my career after being there for a decade and become a stay-at-home mom. And I was a little bit salty at God, to be honest with you, because I'm like, I didn't need a degree to be a stay-at-home mom, right? But little did I know that He was setting me up for a comeback. Because He knew down the road I was going to be a businesswoman. I was going to be an entrepreneur, even though that wasn't ever my desire. A friend of ours knew that we loved traveling. So he was like, you guys are already traveling, you might as well come hear this presentation. So my husband had gone to the presentation and I had to stay home with our little one. And he came home and said, you've got to do this business. And I'm like, but you saw the presentation.
Right.
Why do I have to do the business, right? Because I was at home and I was overwhelmed with not only being a mom, but a mom of a child that has special needs, that has no handbook, right? And so he felt so passionate that he actually purchased the business for me without my permission. Wow. He purchased the business for me on his own birthday. Wow. So it was the best birthday gift to me for him. Yeah. And fast forward, we had a divine appointment in that company over 16 and a half years ago. We met a gentleman that lived in Atlanta, Georgia. We just happened to be aligned under his leadership. And he started mentoring us and said, if you follow my leadership, you'll make more money than you've ever made. Wow. He says, as a matter of fact, if you follow my leadership, Desiree, that $59,000 that you gave up to become a stay-at-home mom, one day that's going to be your monthly income.
Wow. Wow. God is amazing. You're like number 10 in your company, right?
6,
excuse me. Let me correct that. 10 is an insult. She is
no, it's not insult. Top 10 is 5. Yeah, top 10. 6 today. It changes. It changes. It goes back and forth. We're in a good, friendly competition within the top 10. Right. Top 20.
That's a great place to be. Before we transition, because I know the ladies, my co-hosts, have some questions they want to ask. What advice would you give a young woman that's watching now, or a woman that was in your place that felt like, I can't do anything, I'm stuck? What advice?
Self-develop emotionally. Women, we are emotional creatures. And if we don't figure out how to get our emotions in check, it will hinder a lot of our growth.
Wow. Y'all hear that, right? That our emotions is leading us instead of us leading them. I really hope that you guys will stay tuned when we come back to hear more from Desiree about how she made it and her successes and her faith that made sure that she was able to withstand some ups and downs. And we want you as women, particularly women who are Christians and believers, to access the power that God says you can have. Yes. And we are inviting you to come back. I know the co-host can't wait to see you, so we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're here with our guest, Desiree. You guys had a chance to listen to our one-on-one conversation. Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. So Desiree, you mentioned your husband. There are times as wives, we
I'm looking like, where's she going? Where's she going? He's here.
Guilty.
So as wives, we know that, our first ministries to our home.
That's right.
Right? That's biblical. I'm in agreement with that. How do you balance that with having your first ministry being your husband and making sure he still feels loved and supported and you're able to be the superstar in your company?
Ooh, that's a good question. You might want to ask him that one. Can we call him? You know what? It's really funny because we often say, like in our profession, there is no balance. Like sometimes I'm a great mom and a bad wife. Sometimes I'm an awesome businesswoman and a bad mom. I mean, not seriously, but it's just a matter of I don't even attempt to find balance anymore. I wake up every day and my affirmation is I am getting better every day in every way. I know I have people that I know that have these affirmations where they're like 2 paragraphs long. I don't have time to remember all that. So I thought, God, what's the affirmation that I can remember, right? And that's the one he gave me. And so when I wake up every morning, my desire is to first and foremost please God. And I do believe that if, I seek him, that's one of my favorite scriptures, Matthew 6:33. If I seek him first, all the other things will work out, right? And so it's my desire to have balance, but it's not always realistic, right? And I think the reason why so many of us are so crazy all over the place is because we're looking to be balanced at everything. Everything has a balance. And as women, we wear like a whole bunch of hats. And I mean, have you ever,
Powerful.
Yes.
right, have you ever seen anybody with like 6 hats on at a time? No. You only can wear 1 hat at a time.
Yes.
So, one of the things that our mentor often tells us and teaches us is to be where you are. So when I'm on date night with my husband, I'm not at home with my daughter. I don't have to cook. I don't have to whatever. When I'm with our daughter and taking care of her, I got to be there and take care of her special needs. So just have to compartmentalize it. And I believe, for me as a woman, I'm learning more and more how, give yourself a break. Because we feel like if we don't do everything great all the time, then we're failing.
Oh, I love that. I love the way that you use the word balance and that you're so honest, saying that you're not that perfectionist. But I think as women, we kind of tend to go to the perfectionist side, always trying to do the very best. But I love that you says I'm not. Sometimes I'm not, but I'm trying to be the best at where I'm at that moment. And I think, at least for me, and I know for my colleagues, it's been Colossians 3:23, and whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, for it is the Lord Christ you are serving. I think from what you're saying, you wake up, it's another opportunity to be more Christ-like, and therefore a better mom, better wife, better entrepreneur. But I love the fact that you're so honest and saying, no, I don't got it all together, but I'm doing my best every day. So thank you for being honest, first of all. So that gives all of us hope.
Yeah. So get rid of the unnecessary burden that we carry to be perfect, to be balanced, to do this, to do that. Like, oh yeah, I got to be on time. We have to be walking in excellence, yes, but not carrying the burden of feeling like I'm not fulfilling what I'm supposed to be fulfilling, like I'm not balanced. But if I can just flow with whatever God has, put on my journey for that day, then I have less worry, less burden that I'm carrying, and I can do more. I can be more effective and more, productive. Yeah. So that was a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so many women, you actually have a when you're doing your many jobs, they said that women have a knack for oh my gosh, I lost my thing. Yeah, multitasking. Overrated. Yeah, it is so overrated.
Yes, it is.
And so,
yes, it is. See, that's the unnecessary burden. Overrated.
But women are supposed to be excellent multitaskers. So you do so many things. You do so many businesses. How do you actually make sure that each of your businesses gets the right amount of attention? With your family, how do you get your businesses to have the right amount of attention so that they are as successful as you are?
That's a great question. One of the unique and awesome things about what I do is I get a chance to do it with my husband. Like, we're in partnership. So in our company, there's singles and there's couples. And I just happen to be one of those fortunate ones whose husband, not only did he purchase the business, but as he came along with me for the ride, he grew to love it as well. He's very close to our mentor as well. So it's a whole family thing. So not only do we get a chance to, be husband and wife, but we also get a chance to be business partners. So I have help.
Well, thank God for the help, because some of us don't.
Yes, praise God for the help. I mean, I'll even give you an example. Like on Monday, it's kind of cray-cray for me. I have 3 back-to-back Zooms in the evening that I do, one at 6, one at 7, one at 8. And there's like barely any time, and those are dinner times. But he cooks dinner. So I'm on the 6 o'clock one, he opens up the 7 o'clock one, and as soon as he's done with the 7 o'clock one, he goes in the kitchen and starts cooking dinner so that I can come out in between the 7 and 8 and take a quick bite. And then, so thanks, honey, I'm grateful for him. I actually don't know the last time that I cooked a meal.
That is good. So
Our partnership.
we live in this world, in this fallen world, where we belong to God's kingdom. How do you navigate being in the secular, dealing with the secular, businesses and doing things, but yet you are a Christian, you walk in integrity, in honesty, in love? They don't. So how do you navigate that? How do you survive it? Because in the secular world, you're expected to do or to be a certain way, but the word expects you to be a certain way. God wants us to depend on Him, walk with Him, hear His voice, and follow Him. And the word says, "Oh no, you're strong. You're a woman. You're tough. You can get it. Go get it." I mean, how do you balance that?
It's funny. I was sitting here as you were forming that question. I was asked to speak. One of our dear friends, Marva Vincent Jones. Anyway, she's one of my business owners, and her husband were directors through my husband and I. And when he passed away, she asked me to speak, and his name is Willie. And so I asked God, I like acronyms, and I asked God for an acronym, and for his name, and the acronym was Walk in Love, Live in Excellence.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's spelled Willie. So I keep that close to me because everything that I do is my desire to walk in excellence. Now, do I do it all the time? No. Don't always arrive. But I believe that we will never arrive because we're not going to be perfect until we meet Him. Exactly. Right? Exactly. So, but as long as I am striving, as long as it is my desire, because God knows the desires of our hearts. Yes. Nobody else does. Yes. So anybody else's bad intentions or whatever, that's between you and I'm going to continue to walk in love, live in excellence.
That's awesome. One thing about your business, I know that if you give God the glory, you know, that He gives back. And so how do you see God giving back to your business?
Oh, wow. I'll give you a good example. I remember I was kind of down. I was changing, I never forget, changing my daughter. Like, she's about as large as I am. She'll be 25 next month. And she can't do anything for herself. So I'm changing diapers and I'm thinking, oh, you know, what is my purpose? What is my, you know, all this stuff that we beat ourselves up. You know, I'm looking at other people and thinking they have, oh, look, their kids are graduating from high school, they're going to the prom, and then they're getting married, and I don't have any of that, right? So I was really, really in a down type of emotional state. And I will never forget, I was changing my daughter's diaper. It didn't smell so good, so y'all figure that one out, right? So I'm changing her diaper, and God said, you've been faithful over a few things. I'm gonna make you ruler over many.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I love it.
And I went, okay, wow, thank you. And as a result,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So it just comes back around.
Yes, it does. And He is faithful. He really is.
because I've been serving her for almost 25 years and, you know, gave up my career, but He brings it back through entrepreneurship. From home. From home. Where my commute is down the hallway instead of the freeway, as one of my directors would say.
That is amazing. Now we can go on and on and on. And we want to thank you for being our special guest. And we'll have you back.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely have you back. So, the softer side, as we look in the Word of God, we see all these amazing women who were business owners, from Priscilla to Lydia to Phoebe. When we look in the Old Testament, we see over 21 different business lifestyles that women had. God has given you women the power to get wealth without compromise. And if you can see the possibility, God said that you can have it. So until next time, don't stop reaching for your dreams.
That's right.
You're one decision away for being prosperous.
Yes.
We can't wait to see you again.
Keep going.